My multi-gauge came in right here. Oil, temp, fuel, and volt. So this replaced 4 of those little round gauges all in the one. And I tell you, that's all you need right there. Look at that. That is all you need right there. Look at that. That is plenty good. And that's going to be really cool, is that's going to free up the space I need in the dashboard and give me some working gauges also. And it's also going to eliminate a cluster of wiring behind that dash. But I really do think this is funny though, that there's a new invention of color. You got that black, red, blue, yellow, white, and ground and green. And in the paperwork also, in the description on Amazon, it also said ground. So ground, I guess, is a new color. Yeah, but I still got to wait for the sensors to come in. I ordered the matching oil sending unit for this and the matching temperature sending unit for this. So they should be showing up here soon. And one of my switches on my dash, one of my new switches, back about a month or so ago, broke. I don't know why. All the rest are fine, just that one broke. And I went ahead and they're not very expensive, and I went ahead and ordered a replacement on Amazon also. And that came in too just now. This gauge, it was about, I think it was $50 something for it, if I'm not mistaken, and free shipping. Now I ordered the black ring, not the chrome. I was afraid that chrome would get pitted over a while, or what if it's not good quality. But the black, I can always tape it off and retouch it pretty easy, but it's hard to paint over anything like a chrome bezel. And I just didn't trust if it was a good quality or not on it, if it was something that was going to end up, turning old looking pretty quick. So I opted for that. And another thing, I didn't want the reflection up on the windshield, and somebody had brought up the fact that they bought the one with the white background and with the chrome ring. And it's a beautiful gauge, but at night it puts a horrendous glare up on the windshield. And I said, oh man, I don't want that. Even in the daytime, I don't want that. So I opted for this dark color, which is what this boat originally came with anyway. So me and old Capper's hanging out, and we're working on my boat again. Hobby boat, right? Always working on it. I'm in the head here right now. I'm backing behind the dash here, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Backing behind the dash here. I am dealing with this rack and pinion steering. I'm taking the bolts all out right now. See, I got them all loosened up and just about ready to take these clamps off. And we've already taken the steering cable loose at the back. We've already taken the steering loose back here in the back. It's laying up here on the motor right now. This thing was really stiff to steer, and it was getting worse. And the last time we took it out, what was that, on Sunday, Cap?
Yeah,
Man, I felt like I was gonna be Popeye on one arm trying to steer it. And I said, that's dangerous, man, let's go home. Because it got really stiff. And we took it loose in the back this morning, so it would just be right here like it is. And sure enough, tried to crank the steering up here at the helm, and man, it's tight. I mean, there's some hacks out there you can do on these cables, like they'll slide a rubber hose over and clamp it down right back there where that compresses to the housing, and put some like transmission fluid or some type of solvent and things, and rig up and hook an air compressor to the other end of the hose with some fittings, and pressurize that and force that liquid up and through that cable and free it up, and maybe dissolve some stuff and even flush it out. It's a possibility, but I can buy that cable. I might be able to get it shipped here into the Philippines, but I'll definitely get it shipped to my place in Texas. So something else I'm working on, it never stops. But it's always felt kind of hard to steer ever since I bought the boat, but it has just got unbearable now. It's the point of no return. So just crawled up underneath the aft berth and made sure there wasn't any zip ties of wiring to the steering cable. There wasn't none, surprisingly. And it slid right on out and from the engine compartment, Cap steered it that way, and he's got it now coming out the cabin right here, and we're gonna keep pulling, and then I'm gonna get up to where that nut is, and I'll have to feed it through this hole maybe right there. Okay, I might have to have my other hand here. All right, got it. So there it is. Bring her on out, Cap. And I just might have this cable here. I know it's crazy, like, man, who in the Philippines has all that stuff at their house? I do. I may have a brand new one. You have to be your own supply shop. Plus, I had bought up stuff planning on building a boat, and I had bought a brand new helm, steering wheel, and cable. And I can't remember, I think it was 17 foot, and I think that's exactly what this is 17 foot. But it is a rotary type, where this is a rack and pinion. So I don't know, I have to see if that helm piece, I want to feel that helm here too, how smooth it is. And that's another thing, this plastic back here drags around, and it drives me crazy too. It's all cracked there. If I changed the cable, I would definitely want to change the helm and rack pinion or rotary, and that rubbing, and this is all rusty in here. I'll have to I mean, it's really pitted up. Let me zoom up there and you can really see. Yeah, you can see it looks like dog crap, man. So I may have one though. I might have one. We're gonna see. She's stuck pretty good, isn't she? You can turn it, but it takes a lot of effort, and that's just gonna break something. Eventually, a tooth's gonna break. Something's gonna break on that helm, forcing it. But this last trip out, it got really stiff.
I was just looking at how loose the play is and how much play.
Do you think it might have got so stiff because Melinda was on a boat in a bikini? So here it is. Now this is a Teleflex, however you want to call it, Teleflex. This company went out. They got bought out by some other company called like C Star or something like that. Don't hold me exactly to it. So you can still buy it, but it's manufactured by a different company now, or a buyout, change the name, something. And you can see it's kind of grimy, but I'm sure where most of the resistance is not on that. It definitely, that need to be serviced. It's going to be in the cable. And even just look at this. You see this, man? Look at that. That just looks horrible. Horrible, horrible. Yeah, this is the original. July 3rd, 95. I was reading these first digits. July 3rd, 95. This is a 96 boat. So yeah, this is the original Mohican right there. So here's this cable I got right here. I have to get some stuff untangled off of it. So that's the cable I've got. And then I've got a steering box. I think it's over here. Yep. That's an impeller kit. This is a helm right here. Right there. But I'd have to see if this would, there's a helm right there. So, and there's all the hardware for it. So, and I also, if I wanted to change it, I've got a new steering wheel here somewhere too. If I want to change it, I got a brand new steering wheel there also. And look here, I even have another steering wheel. And I even have a steering wheel cover, but it looks like it might be too big for that. It might be a truck wheel. Yep, too big, so that's out of the equation. But I could use the chrome wheel that's up there, but it doesn't have a center cap. And then we'll also put that helm up in there on the dash and see if it's got clearance that the cabin door don't strike it when you slide it open. So look what luck I had. That other brand new cable I had in the garage is just right for it. So you go from plastic on the housing right there is where you measure from. And one of these is a rotary top, the one on the left, and new one, the old one, is the rack style. And so the rotary top, the housing's way back in the middle. So this is only 1 foot longer than the factory one, the old original one, which there's plenty of space inside the boat to absorb that little bit of a foot. I am so lucky that I have this thing, man. That is so cool. And we checked the helm on it also, and you get rid of that rack helm and put this rotary top in. There's looks to be all good to go on that. It's going to clear the door opening on the cabin, and also looks like it's going to be a winner on it. So I broke the nuts loose in the back, but the bolts are spinning. I don't even want to fight trying to get this wheel off this rust and stuff right now. This plastic's already cracked right here, and I just go ahead and break it on off and get to the bolts in there and be done with it. I can get it to slide out from behind there. Let's try to come out. Actually, there's one of the bolts right there. We could just leave it laid like that, cap, and then move it around to the next one. Actually, I feel it split back here on the back. It's about to crack in two. Yep, got a crack in it right there. All right, we're to the last one here. Got cap and a socket and extension out there. I'm ready when you are. This one don't feel as hard. All right, see if you can work it out, the whole thing your way. There you go. There she is. Yeah, there she is. Well, you know, if this would, any of this would have gave with that tight cable and forcing it, you could lose your steering out there on the water. This part might have still been okay, but you know it's worn. It's original. A lot of years on it already. Mm-hmm. So let's do a dry fit on this rotary style. I'll go, guess what I need to do is go grab that hardware first, that plate that goes on there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That should just, like, we could turn it around this way, just for example. See if it fits that hole. Pretty close, because what I'm going to try to do is keep from modifying it much in case I ever went back with a radial style again. Yeah. So this is just working out super good. That's clocked right inside with the side where the cable's going to come in and turn over. So this little plastic cap will snap over that bracket right there, so that bracket doesn't have to be symmetrical or nothing. These here have little tabs on the inside right there that this snaps onto. So right now, just get these washers and lock nuts on here, and then I will have to drill 3 bolt holes right there, and it'll still be in behind back there, to where if I ever want to return it back to a rack style for some reason ever in the future, this didn't work out or anything like that, I haven't really done any damage. It's just all hidden behind back there. So this is working out really well. Don't want to hit anything in behind back there. All right. So I need to put some sealer in around those bolts before I put it in so they don't ever absorb moisture into that wood core. It's not. So we're getting it here. Go back to that first one, that bottom one, towards the starboard side. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy Cap and I got this steering done, man. It works great. Yeah, it works great. Nice new steering in here. Nice and smooth now. Boy, that's so good. No more Popeye arm trying to turn that thing. So that is a plus. Got the switch in that broke. This one right here, it's broken. Got the replacement in, and we got this gauge in today that, this one gauge will replace this one, this one, this one, and this one. It'll replace all 4 of those. And I think I'm gonna buy from them one that's the speedometer and the RPM all in one, and replace that, because the glass is not even on this one. I've got that glass somewhere, but it's all broken. Yeah, all broken. When I got, none of these lights even worked. I still don't. This one said don't have a bulb, but I managed to get all these lights back working before, but just a waste of time. And let me show you what a wiring mess this is. I got the screws out right now. Let me show you here. Just look at all the conglomerate of wires. Look at that. Look at one. See, that's all broke on the lights and stuff. Look at that. Look at all this mess. These are all like groups of ground, groups of positives, all this. Just look what a nightmare. Look at all that. And that can be mega simplified. Mega simplified. None of it worked when I bought the boat. None of it worked. In fact, a whole bunch of it was yanked loose. Some guy had been working on it for the guy that owned the boat, and he's going to get the gauges going and replace them. He took everything loose and never put nothing back. And I think they said that he croaked. So imagine how many wires these 4 just eliminated. And the new ones for the speedometer work off GPS now. So you don't even have to have a little water tube from the outdrive connected. Now, if you don't use that little water tube that goes to your speedometer, remove it off the back of the outdrive. If not, it will literally be, when you're driving, pumping water to the inside behind your dash. So you don't want that happening, because they work off water pressure. It pushes in a little foot on the outdrive or a little hole. So imagine you take all of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gauges right there and crunch it down the 2 in 2 little pigtails, and you eliminated all of that big old mess, man. Goodness. And you do still have some for the switches, but they're not near as bad. Lots of projects going on. Right now, I'm about to put a finish on this. I'm gonna mix it. This is the Hudson's floor urethane that I'm gonna use varnish. It's a top coat right here, and it's got a hardener that goes with it. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of it up. It's a 7-to-1 mix. I went over this already. I took some of the reducer for that and went over it, and that way if there's any fibers and stuff, they'll kind of stand up. Now the same thing with this. When I put the first coat, I'll have to let it cure, then re-sand it, because it's just like anything when you paint wood. The first coat's going to make a lot of the little hairs, the little fibers soak up and stand up, and they'll look a little rough. So if you'll come back after it cures and knock those off, now it's kind of sealed down and you can do it again. They sell several stages of this. They sell a sealer and like a first coat, and then this a top coat. The company makes it, but you're not going to find it. All I can ever find is just the reducer and the top coat. Every once in a while, I would find a sealer, but I hadn't even been able to find it in a while now. Other thing I wanted to show you here, these holes is where it's going to go up on the back. Little stainless steel bars there and mount. And these holes here is where I'm putting this little hand hold right here that's going to be on both sides. It'll be here on both sides of this, so if you're standing there in the boat or climbing up in the boat, either one, and you got something to grab a hold of and pull. I use this same one. It's actually built out of aluminum, and I use the same one on my cabin door on the boat too, where you could really pull it open and close. So I've been out here doing the finished work on this. I've got 3 coats on this now, and also I've been putting the handle on the grab bar that's going to be on the outside and the inside on it both. And tell me what you all think about that. And this will be up on the back of the boat. So on the boat trailer here, was going to put long rails down the sides for guiding that boat in real easy out there in the surf. But one day I was like, man, we built these angle iron frames coming up. I don't need long rails down through there. I just need to slide me some tubes. So I had some 3-inch tube, and I tried it, and it worked. So I put some 3-inch tubes on here, and man, it was beautiful. Before, of course, the surf is always trying to pull the boat around every which way the tide's moving or the surf's moving, left or right on the trailer, and you couldn't get a straight aim always. Or you have to get people out there in the water and grab the back of the boat and try to keep it straight on the trailer. But man, with these on there, without even a long rail, just these tubes, it made all the difference in the world. I could literally just drive the boat straight up in the trailer. The nose would come up and bump in between those two, line it up. It would come up here again, hit this one, the back end line itself right up, and it line itself right up on the trailer. And we put this indoor-outdoor carpet on it. And that was that, man. This thing are just premium. So when I build a new trailer, I'll build it with these on there.